Hi friends, my name is Teresa Hartlink and I'm creator of withallofmyheart.com, where we focus on helping you create a life legacy through photos, stories, keepsakes, and researching your family history. And I'm very excited today to share with you the launch of my new course, which will help you to kickstart your own life legacy. This past year has been a year of lessons for many of us, and one thing that really stood out to me was that this was kind of a wake-up call on the need for me to document my own family story. There's an African proverb that says, when an old person dies, a library burns to the ground. It's an unfortunate truth, but I would argue that it doesn't just apply to an old person. The truth is that we all hold important stories, and it's up to us to make sure that those stories are documented and preserved for the next generations. Maybe you have felt a needling anxiety about this for a long time. You see stacks of photos that are sitting in boxes or albums, kind of waiting for their forever home. Or worse yet, you haven't printed any photos in years because everything is stored on your phone. Or you know that your parent or your grandparent has some amazing stories to tell and you always intend to ask them, but the timing just never seems right to do that. Or maybe you're feeling overwhelmed with your own collection of keepsakes or memorabilia and you're anticipating adding to your collection as your parents pass things down. You might be struggling with a sentimentality from determining what's important to keep and what you can let go. It is that feeling of knowing it's important to collect our family stories, but also struggling with daily priorities and pressures that creates anxiety. You just don't have the time, or at least that's what we tell ourselves. I know this because I feel it too. In my family, I've gladly fallen into the role of keeper of family stories. It's a responsibility that I don't take lightly and one that I really thought I was doing everything to respect. However, a little more than a year ago, I lost my mom. And almost immediately afterwards, I started to see all the questions that I had left unasked and all the things that I will now never know. I thought I had more time. And when it became clear that time was running out, it was no longer the right time. And I don't know that I would have even known at that time where to begin. I was managing my way through a tremendous loss and all my emotional resources were consumed by that effort. I know with full certainty that I'm not alone in looking back after the loss of a loved one and questioning, I wonder how they would have felt about this, or I wonder what that time was like for them. Unfortunately, they're no longer here to answer those questions and to share that piece of their story. It's lost. Over the course of the past year, I've given this so much thought, and I realized that we will never be able to ask every question or document every story. It just isn't possible to capture a full lifetime of moments. But I committed to myself that I would work very hard to ensure that I capture as much of my own story as I can, as well as the stories of my loved ones. And that I would do something to try and help other people answer some of those questions and gather some of those stories before it's too late. So that's why I'm here with you today. The good news is that we can start now to gather your story. And more importantly, it doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to be scary, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming. I know from experience and from my own work that there are literally hundreds of small steps that we can take that will put you one step further in your legacy journey. Recently, I created a series of videos focusing on things that you could do, in some cases in a matter of minutes, that would help you to tell your story and maybe sleep a little bit better at night, knowing that you're doing the work of preserving the present for the future. You might be thinking, I already have a family tree and I don't really think I need more than that. And I understand that, but I also believe that facts and figures are great, but they don't tell the complete story. You need to preserve the detail that goes into shaping that full story. For example, knowing the dates of your grandparents' marriage is nice, but wouldn't you love to know what that marriage represents in the real story? How did they meet? How did they fall in love? What did his parents think? What did her parents think? Those are the details that build out the framework of any family tree and make it into a true legacy. You can be the bridge that connects the past to the future. Your stories, or those of your parents or your grandparents gathered now, will make them living characters to future generations who may know them only for a short time or possibly not at all. These stories will tell of a different time in history and their place within it. Our children and grandchildren can only benefit from hearing about the people and places that have brought them to their own time. And make no mistake, they will want to know. Haven't we all felt the thrill of finding out something about your grandmother before she married your grandfather, or your dad's challenges and triumphs as a young boy? We hear these stories and we feel closer to them, and perhaps feel a sense of shared pride about who we are as a family. I've followed my family history for a number of years and passionately collect photos of ancestors and document names and dates. But I do believe that family history is more than just names and dates. Each of those names and dates represent people, family that perhaps I would have been honored to know. They loved, they laughed, they worked hard to build their lives, they suffered loss, they struggled through disappointment, they cried, they worried, they celebrated, they lived. And I have the opportunity to discover what that was for them and to share it. It's possible you've considered a project like this in the past, but you never began, or maybe you got started and then you got overwhelmed or frustrated and so you quit. I understand that. There's no doubt that it can easily start to feel like too much. But stay with me, because we're going to break this up into small bites. Even if you only make a start, even if you only gather a fraction of your history, you are still going to be further ahead, and you can enjoy the peace of mind that that will bring to you. Our memories fade each day, so whether it's your story to tell or your gift to help someone else, now is the time to make a record before the memories continue to fade away. And working on a family research project can be fun. It's a project of discovery. Having conversations with someone about their memories and their perspectives is a very meaningful way to ask someone about themselves in a way that maybe you haven't before. You will learn, and they will have the opportunity to show you who they are and all that they have accomplished. This is an incredible way to connect, particularly at a time when many of us feel so isolated. We've all experienced or heard the stories of loved ones who can't have visitors or are forced to isolate on their own right now. It's incredibly lonely and emotionally defeating for a person of any age to not have any social connections bringing them joy. That's another reason why this is a perfect time to start this project. Asking someone you love about themselves is a way to connect on such a deeper level beyond small talk of the day. Allowing them to tell you their stories will bring you closer together, as well as allowing them the opportunity to look back at their lives and be recognized for what they've achieved. And those good feelings work both ways. In fact, there have actually been scientific studies showing that researching your family and documenting your own place in history is very good for your emotional and mental well-being. Maybe you sense the need to pass on a legacy to your children or to your grandchildren. And you want it to be more than just the dates and names. You want it to focus on the dash in between the birth and the death date. You want to focus on the legacy of the whole person. Future generations will want to know about us, and what you're doing now will connect the past to the future. Now, I know in the back of your mind there might be a little voice saying, my life really isn't that exciting. I don't know that I have anything interesting to say or to document for future generations. But no matter how small or large your story, you are leaving a legacy. I think we tend to undervalue our own stories because we own them. We know them so well that they are a part of us. And so we think, they're just part of the routine and nothing unusual. But to someone who hasn't heard them, they're unique. And to future generations, those stories will help them to know you and to help them understand the times in which we live. That's why I think we've all been given a wake-up call that now is the time to pay attention to your own family story. You will feel better for it, your loved ones will feel better for it, and future generations will thank you for it. So how do you start? Well, beginning today, I am opening registration for a 6-week course entitled Creating Your Life Legacy: How to Kickstart Your Life Legacy Project. This course will begin on February 22nd, and you can expect a step-by-step and piece-by-piece approach to completing a family research project. We're going to pick one specific project that is important to you, and then through a series of interactive lessons over the course of 6 weeks, we're going to learn how you can set yourself up for success, how to begin, and how to put it all together. Just think, in only 6 weeks' time, you will be well on your way to completing your first family research project, and you'll be able to share with your family the success of your efforts. We're going to break this down into very easy to manage steps so that you will not be overwhelmed. These are just some of the highlights that we will cover. How to establish your own why, and then lay the groundwork for a successful project. How to uncover who has pieces of the story that you want to tell and how you can successfully gather that information from them. How to begin writing. We're going to take that one step by step, and it won't be scary at all. How to include children in your family research project. How to take control of your photos. Get them out of those shoe boxes or damaging albums and get them organized and preserved for the future. How to be a detective and identify some of the unknown ancestors in your historic photos. How to manage the overwhelm of dealing with keepsakes and mementos, making hard decisions about what to keep or what to share, and then how to preserve what is most important to you. How to repurpose some keepsakes so that you can enjoy them more fully on a daily basis in your regular life rather than having them locked away. And what about your technology legacy? We'll take a look at what happens with your social media and family stories when you're no longer here. We'll also dip our toes into the genealogy pool, discover how to begin your research, and learn some best practices for projects that may be short-term or may be lifetime passions. Every Monday for 6 weeks, a new module will be released that you can work through at your own pace. Each module will contain 4 or more video lessons along with a separate PDF workbook for each lesson. And along the way, we'll also have lots of surprises as well, including pop-up videos and Facebook Live sessions. And we're also going to create our own community to talk through issues we're facing, help each other troubleshoot, and share our successes. And you will have lifetime access to the course content to ensure that you can continue your project work even after the course is complete. At the end of our 6 weeks, we will celebrate our success together. We will share our progress on our projects, or maybe even have completed projects ready to share with your family. So let's take a look at the value of this program. I have created 3 different plans depending on the level of support that you would like to receive. The first level is called Follow Your Heart, and this level will include a complete package of 24 interactive video lessons, which will be released over the course of 6 weeks so that you can work through each week at your own pace. These lessons will be supported by easy-to-follow, step-by-step workbooks, which will recap the videos and dig in a bit deeper on each, with highlighted key points, as well as a number of worksheets, templates, and sample forms. As a bonus, you'll also receive access to an exclusive online community only for our course students. This will be a place where we can connect to meet each other, as well as share questions, brainstorm ideas, and talk through any challenges, as well as our successes. In addition, throughout the 6-week course, there will be pop-up live videos exclusive to course students with lessons, ideas, and tips to further enhance the course materials. These elements, purchased separately, would likely amount to approximately $600. But if you enroll prior to February 16th, you will receive a special rate of only $279. In addition, if you prefer, you can split your registration fee into 3 equal payments of $100. The overall rate is a bit higher due to administrative fees, but I wanted to give this option to anyone who would prefer payments. The next level is called Heart and Soul. This level will include all the same elements as Level 1, the video lessons, the workbooks, the exclusive community, but also you'll have access to 4 coffee club chats that are exclusive to upgraded members. On these calls, we'll have discussions about any questions that you have, as well as discuss challenges and obstacles. Also, you'll receive 1 private one-on-one session with me. This time will be exclusive to the 2 of us to review your specific project and develop a plan for what you want to accomplish. The value for this package would amount to about $1,200, But again, with prompt enrollment, you will receive a special rate of $549 to include everything shown here. And also, you'll have the option of splitting your registration fee into 3 payments of $200 if that is your preference. Finally, our top-level course is called Heart to Heart and will include everything that was in the previous 2 levels, but instead of 1 individual private consultation, you'll receive 4 30-minute consultations with me that we can review your project and develop a strategy. And as a Heart to Heart student, you'll have lifetime access to not only this course content, but also to all future courses and their content. There will be additional courses coming in 2021, and you'll have automatic renewal and access. The value of this package would be well over $2,800, but your reduced fee with registration prior to February 16th will be $1,500, or 3 equal payments of $525. I've created these 3 plans so that you can select which option best fits your needs. Again, registration is required by February 16th, and you can register at this website or click on the link in the video description. The value of a family story is priceless, and frankly, it increases as time goes on. Future generations will not be able to put a price on what it means for them to have this information. So maybe this is all sounding great to you, and part of you wants to charge forward. And then there's another little part of your brain that's trying to stop you before you even begin. You're thinking that you would love to do this, but you just don't have the time. Before you let that thought settle in, though, consider this. Memories fade. Stories are lost every day. The time is now. You don't have time not to do this. So here's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to make a commitment to yourself that you are a priority and your family story is important. I'm asking you to commit to join me in a 6-week adventure where we will start that important work. First, click on the first link in the video description to get a free download of Taking Control of Your Family Images. That's my gift to you, and it's totally free. I hope that it will inspire you to want to learn more and also to join me in the Creating Your Life Legacy course. Registration is open now and will close at midnight on February 16th. Class size is limited, so don't miss your chance to claim your spot. Go to the second link provided in the description to learn more about this course and to confirm your registration. It's that easy. Click on 2 quick links and you will be on your way. I'm so excited about the possibilities and the journey that lies ahead. I hope that you will join me and allow me to help you create your own life legacy. I look forward to seeing you with all of my heart.